Like the great Sir Keitumile Masire, we believe the most important thing in life is to have the desire to conquer and be great. Senatla.Sarona is inspired to build a community of people who believe they are special, people who overcome the struggles and challenges of everyday life and contribute towards a healthy, vibrant society. People dedicated to shaping the destiny of this continent. It is our hope that from hearing this story, you are inspired to live a life of purpose, a life of fulfillment, a life of service to your country, because you must be a Senatla to make this land productive.
Message to Batswana from late President Sir Keitumile Masire. In quotes, I have a very nasty idea, but as I am old, I can't go to the rooftops to say this. Mining has done great things for us, but it has destroyed our will to achieve because it has made life so easy. I'd rather let business thrive than emphasize mining exploration. When we became affluent, Mr. Jankie of Ghanzi said, if we have more millions than population, why don't we just give everybody 1 million pula? Englishman Kabo said, tell us, is the problem poverty or liquidity? Even senior members of Domkrach were basically begging me to give people money for nothing. But if we just gave everybody 1 million, would anything be solved? We don't run human affairs like that. It is wrong. You can't just give up and take the money. If you give people money for nothing, will they risk putting it into a venture rather than just sitting around? The most important thing in life is to have the wish to achieve, to conquer and overcome. If we make people like pets, they will just live and sleep, and with nothing to do, then they will just be dead. I remember Festus Mogai, when he was executive director of the World Bank. He used to come here and chat with me when he was back. He said, now I understand. Why do we remain so poor? Because if you work hard and therefore become successful, people here bear a grudge against you. In America, a man who works hard earns the respect of people. Even if he is not that successful or rich, they will say, but he has worked hard to get where he is. Here, if you work hard or are a Senatla, you are viewed with suspicion. They think you are using a charm from Malawi or Zimbabwe or something like that. You have cheated, but it is only that they have not found out how yet. If you start with a few cattle and end up with several thousand, you keep them far away and don't say anything because you won't gain any respect, except for beggars who come to ask you for something. Currency is backed by the capacity to produce. I didn't think the EU was right to compare the work ethic of a German and a Portuguese and back them with the same money, the euro. This undermined the mark because the German worked hard and could support the high value of the currency. But can a Portuguese person work like a German? My problem with the pula and the situation here is that our wealth is not mixed with sweat. It is not everybody who makes a contribution, and therefore our economy is not healthy. We just happen to have the good fortune to have Orapa and Drane, and therefore our wealth is not human generated. It's just that the good Lord and the fellows who negotiated the deal with De Beers have brought this enormous harvest to be shared. But the general Botswana has made no contribution, and therefore, when the inevitability occurs and the mines can no longer produce, we will have problems. Additionally, it is inevitable that as the population grows, the mine produces less minerals per person. So what will we do? True economic forces are making us have fewer children. I am not going to be politically correct when I say that. Most people who make the economy work have very small families, while those who God blesses so much and who do less are multiplying like crazy. People think we are a small population and think we need to grow, but they don't relate it to economic survival. The vulnerability of the economy means we really need to find more avenues for economic growth. There has to be this urge to accomplish. The hope of the nation is in the people who want to do something. The washerwoman, the lady who sells madombi in the streets, these are the people who can lift us. People see a need and do something to meet that need. I remember Dr. Nasha, who was my minister of local government. We differed. She wanted to clean out the town so that there would be no hawkers and others selling in public places. She wanted everything nice and clean and orderly. And I said, this is the future. But if Choppies makes things available to be bought, they cannot sell it unless people can generate the cash to buy them. People wanting to regulate and clean up business in Gaborone are barking up the wrong tree. Okay, make sure the food that is being sold is fresh, hire an inspector, but leave it alone. I am opposed to rentals. A house should be an investment, a part of a portfolio. So if your farm or job fails, it will be there either for you to live in or to rent out, to help you in a difficult time. A house is not active though. It is just a place to sleep. The development aspect is what Batswana lack. They just want to put a bunch of bricks together and retire by renting their property out. Retiring on rent, you might as well die. You have done everything which you will ever do. What can Botswana do? There is no land shortage in Botswana. We are the same size as France, or we are 60% of the size of South Africa. But they have 60 million and we are 2 million. Just because there is a shortage of plots in Gaborone, this does not mean we lack land. One of the stories of my life is that I am always working hard and wishing to expand my agricultural operations and do all I want to do. But there is never enough water at each place that I go. So the story is that I had 2 areas in Jankie with 2 high-yielding boreholes. These were lands that came from my father and grandfather, and they had developed these water sources in which I also improved. However, I did not believe in open, communal grazing and watering, and these places that I inherited were in areas traditionally used like this. So I went to the land board. I said that if they would take these 2 pieces of land along with the machinery, kraals, and I only took the cattle, I would say thank you in exchange for an empty land where nobody was farming. They found the offer was irresistible. They gave me an area 50 kilometers north of Sekoma. These boreholes were supposed to be 8 kilometers apart, so I received 13,000 hectares. I took a risk because there was no water. I drilled 13 boreholes in that area, only 2 of which were viable because the water there is more saline than seawater in most cases. I drilled these far apart, many kilometers apart. I fenced it myself because you have to be a Senatla to make this land productive. But when you succeed, you are not applauded for your efforts. People just say, why is this fellow always moving around? They think I am sirketumile, trying to grab people's things and generally being overactive. then they claim I am receiving special privileges. David Mahang wrote a book called The Magic of Perseverance. He even claims that I tried to stop him building Pakalai, which is not true. Even though we clashed, I applaud his success. His message is good. Batswana need to listen to Mahang, to work hard and to persevere.